First tonight, more on the phone hacking scandal and alleged corruption within Scotland Yard. Today, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Sir Paul Stevenson, said he would root out any officers who have given information to the News of the World in return for money. He made the pledge as he asked the police watchdog, the IPCC, to take charge of an inquiry into whether illegal payments had been received. This report now from our Home Affairs correspondent, Guy Smith.
I'm just absolutely delighted to be able to open this building here at Polo Park that's going to provide such an important function for this location.
This is not the only thing uncovered this week, and not everyone is applauding the capital's police force. Its chief officer this morning smiled for the cameras and audience, but behind the brave face lies real concern for the reputation of Scotland Yard. New allegations around phone hacking and police corruption has now pushed the Met Commissioner into calling for an independent and thorough review.
The allegations coming from the News of the World, which were given to us on the 20th of June, are quite shocking. That a small number of police officers may have engaged in such corrupt practice, and that's what it is. If proved, it is corrupt practice, and I will be determined to do what we should do, and that is put them in front of the criminal courts.
He's talking in particular about the alleged practice of police officers selling sensitive information to journalists. Today, the Met announced it was formally referring this to the police watchdog, the IPCC.
I've always been determined, as soon as we got the information from the News of the World, to have some sort of transparency in this investigation. That's why 2 days later we spoke to the Independent Police Complaints Commission, and are now delighted that they are now going to take an active part in this investigation. It is important there's transparency, it's important there's independence in it, and it's important that the public know that.
So what do we know? We asked all the police forces in our area how many officers in the past decade had been investigated for receiving inappropriate payments. Only 3 replied. Bedfordshire said they'd had none, Thames Valley 2, and the Met 4. 2 of those cases were unproven, 1 officer was disciplined, and a 4th was jailed. Yet the new allegations have wider and more serious implications.
Policing is only done with the consent of the community, and you only normally get consent if you've got respect. And if the respect of the community were to be lost because of these allegations, it would make policing across the country very much harder to perform.
Do you think the relationship between Scotland Yard and News International was just too close?
Well, I think that will be now for the inquiry. As you know, I said to the Home Affairs Select Committee last week that I've always thought that a further process, some independent inquiry, a review, was absolutely necessary, inevitable.
But what certainly wasn't inevitable was this afternoon's announcement of the closure of Britain's biggest selling newspaper. Guy Smith, BBC London News.